Okay, this is a test question. It's the first one. It's the easiest one on the exam, by the way. And just to give you an idea where it comes from. And, Pearson, you probably know the name Pearson as a publisher. They also read a lot of exams, by the way, for schools. And this comes from the United Kingdom. And it's for students that are taking what's called A-level, all right? And it's a high school exam. So the students are taking these exams. Of course, they study the material. They know the material. And this question is the easiest question. And I did look at the questions on the exam, by the way. This is the easiest question on the exam. Right? Some of the questions were kind of difficult, but I'll certainly post more of them. So the first thing I would do in this problem over here, certainly the way I teach it at my school is I would say, get this thing compared to 0. It's a nonlinear inequality, by the way. So the way I'd probably do that is just simply subtract away, let's say, x minus 1 over x. And if I did that, that would be greater than 0 now. This makes it much easier for me to analyze it. The next thing I would do, I'd factor out a common factor, and that common factor is just x minus 1. So I'm trying to get it factored now. What are you left off with? X minus 1 over x. And this is still greater than 0. What do you get now? I'm going to try to get that fraction into one term, by the way. And that would be x squared minus 1. Now I'm starting to realize I can factor further. So I get x minus 1. And this would be x minus 1, x plus 1, all over x, greater than 0. Then I'd go to a number line. And a number line I talk about where all these factors change their signs. So the bottom changes its sign when x is 0. All right? The top changes its sign at two different numbers, at 1 and at minus 1. So these factors are changing their signs there. All right, so what I'm going to do is take a test point and figure out what's happening at those test points. So a good number after 1 to choose would be 2. And if you plug that in, and you'll plug it into each factor, by the way, it would be positive, 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 over a positive. Hope you realize that's positive. Now, positive numbers are definitely greater than 0, so I'm going to shade that in now. All right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be between 0 and 1 now. I'll pick a number there. And the number I want to pick over here is just a half. And what do you get? Well, you can get a negative number, a positive number, and a positive number. Just plugging in half, by the way. What does that give me? Also positive. What does that mean? Everything is being shaded in because it's greater than 0. All right? Let me take another number in between minus 1 and 0. I'll take minus 1/2. And, plug it in. What do you get? A negative. And then, minus 1/2 plus 1 is a positive number. On bottom, you get negative number. On top is positive, bottom is negative, so overall it's negative. Now, negative numbers are not greater than 0, so I would not shade that in. All right, let me pick another number below minus 1. I pick minus 2. And what do you get? You get negative. And again, we're plugging it in over here, by the way. You get a negative, and on bottom you get negative. Overall, you get what on top? You get a negative. Oops, doesn't look right. Yeah, get my eraser out. Do that again. Negative, plugging in minus 2, by the way. Negative, and negative. Everything's negative. So what do you get on top? You get negative, and bottom you get negative. Negative by negative is positive. Positive is greater than 0, I'd shade that in over here. Right? Now, granted, at my school, I enforce the students to write down an interval for this. And let me do that for you. Minus infinity, up to minus 1, don't touch it. Union, 0 up to 1, don't touch it. Union, let's see, 1 off to infinity. And that's the interval notation, by the way. So minus infinity to minus 1, union, 0 to 1, union, 1 to infinity. But if you look back at the thing, they want you to put in set notation. So I got to write this in set notation now. And how do I do that? Set notation's got those curly braces. I'm going to say x, and then I can put a vertical bar that reads such that x is less than minus 1. That covers that. And then it's going to be union x such that, well, let's look at that. The x would be greater than 0 and less than 1. Union x such that the x is greater than 1. Now, that's what they asked for. That's what you're going to give them. All right? Now, the exam that I looked at, it's not a multiple choice exam. It's an exam where students would show work. And they give you space to put the work down and space to put the answer down. Really didn't require much work, by the way. But looking at it, I got something down over here. And I want to point out that we do provide a key for you. And again, this was the easiest problem on it. The key is basically me walking through the same steps without talking about it. All right, what answers are we getting over here? This is the answer over here. I put it in a box for a reason. I want to take the grader's attention to this box over here. And again, the way I read this is a set of x such that x is less than -1, union, the set of x such that x is between 0 and 1, union, x such that x is greater than 1. It's a set. All right, thank you.